even the sun came out on cue earlier today, so that was great. So on behalf of Jill and Sue and Ian, it really is a great pleasure and a real honour to welcome you all here today, and I think it's really lovely to see you all. And I'm sure you'll all agree as well that these two are looking lovely today as well. For those who are sitting on this table, it's wonderful to be surrounded by so many friends and family. And I just wanted to thank you all for coming along today and helping us to celebrate this occasion. That's really great. I know that actually there's only a handful of you here that have got Hampshire postcodes, so that means you've all had to travel some distance to get here to be with us today, and we're very thankful for that. As well as overcoming geographic challenges, I know there's people here with health challenges as well, and we're really pleased that you've been able to come along and join us as well. And Sue, sorry members of your family from Ireland haven't been able to join us, but it's really nice to know that Marie and Rebecca are both coming along for me. That's great. Now, I must just say a few thank yous before I get too further into this. And so I want to thank, first of all, Helen and her team for making the barn look so wonderful for us tonight. I think it's looking lovely. To Emma and her culinary team for the food that we've just been having, which I think was wonderful. But it has a very proud father of a very beautiful bride that I'm standing here now. And proud Joe is pretty much what I've been for the last 27 years. Ever since she made her actually rather belated appearance into the world at Queen Charlotte's Hospital in London. Actually, wasn't that Sergio and Terry or wherever it is as well? Anyway, there's a degree of symmetry to the fact that she's currently working there on the neonates at Queen Charlotte's as well, which I think is nice to see. And yes, I do know it's a different location. As our eldest daughter, Jo introduced Jill and me to parenthood, and in fact, as she was wheeled out of the delivery suite, Jill promised Jo that she would be an only child. But I think we failed on that. So, before she started primary school, Jo had become a big sister to Sarah and Ali. She quickly learned how to take command. Our friends and family will probably remember numerous shows produced by, directed by, and starring Jo, with sisters, cousins, and other friends sort of dragooned into taking part as well. One of Sarah's early frustrations in life as a younger sibling was just at that developmental stage when she starts crawling around and finds the saucepan drawer, and with a giggle puts the saucepan on her head as a hat. So Jo then comes along and demonstrates that actually you use it to stir peas. At which point Sarah had little defence but crawled away and has reckoned that her creativity has been stifled there. A few years later, Ali innocently managed to get the last word during one of Jo's teaching sessions. Jo was sharing her newly acquired knowledge of secondary school art by stating that people's faces aren't symmetrical. Yes, they are, said Ali. No, they're not. Even mine's not, replied Jo. To which Ali replied, yes, but mine is because it hasn't got spots. So Jo's secondary school career moved forward with interests and activities which would lead eventually to today's events. Jo was hoping for a career in medicine from the time she was 7 years old and finally gave up the aspiration to be a Pizza Hut lady. Meanwhile, she played her flute in the school orchestra and local Winchester orchestras and supported Manchester United with a passion. trials and tribulations of being a lifelong Spurs supporter, always maintains that the toughest part of Jo's adolescence was buying her a Man U shirt for her 14th birthday. And I guess it was. And I guess that gives you some idea that in the great scheme of things, Jo wasn't a difficult daughter. She's been hard-working and loving, thoughtful and generous, and devious about sneaking all those compliments into my speech. When it came to choosing universities, Jo was her usual methodical self. She created spreadsheets and awarded marks for the different attributes of the various institutions that she was considering. Then we noticed that one place had been discarded without any scoring at all. Nah, I didn't like the grass, she said dismissively. That's Birmingham, wasn't it? Nottingham. So much for feminine logic. Thus, Jo headed to Imperial to begin her medical education, crucially clutching her flute so that she could join the medics orchestra, and so, Tom, the net started. Yes. It took a few years, but in 2006 the orchestra went on tour to Barcelona. And in this case, what happened on tour certainly didn't stay on tour. A number of music friends here today, but they've all been irritatingly discreet. Anyway, after a week away, Jo returned home, bubbly and radiant, and that wasn't just from the carver. She was telling Jill that, yes, it had been a wonderful week, and everyone had got on really well with each other and so on, and in that weird, intuitive way that mothers have, Jill said, "Did you get on better with anyone in particular?" What did he say? To which Jo's response was, "Oh, you can read me like a book, and his name's Tom." Ali was the first of the family to meet this young man who had such an impact on Jo. What's he like, was the obvious question. Those of you who know Ali will recognise the style of her reply. Shrug of the shoulders, what's there not to like? 6 years on, I can answer that question by saying that whenever he's around, the beer and the red wine just seem to evaporate. But, most importantly, after 6 years, we can't really imagine Tom not being around. He's felt like part of the family for some time now, and I guess today just formalises that reality. Jill and I know Tom has made Jo very happy. She's found her soulmate, and I have a sneaking suspicion from looking at them that it's mutual. So now I know that. So now you know that you would all want to join me in wishing Tom and Jo every success and happiness in their married life. So please would you be upstanding and join me in raising the glasses to the toast is Jo and Tom. Very good.